What's going on, guys? Welcome back to another episode of the Roots of Success podcast. I am your host, Nate the Great, and today we have the lovely, and the one and only Lily Jang. How are you?
I should do this. I'm doing great. Thanks for having me. We've been talking about this podcast for so long, and finally we're doing it.
Right? Yeah, I feel like it's been years since we've been talking about it.
Since you were wee tall.
But I'm glad we're able to do this, and most importantly, that you could carve some time out of your schedule. I know you're extremely busy, crushing the real estate life and the game in Houston.
Like yeah, it has been such a hustle, especially during 2020. Everything kind of screeched to a halt.
Yeah.
Real estate took off.
Wow.
So I had a record year despite the pandemic and everything else that happened in my personal life. But yeah, it was a really record crushing year.
I feel like a lot of people have kind of they've done well, more so than what others are thinking.
Yeah.
You know, because I feel as if a lot of people thought that people just kind of crashed completely. But for the ones that I know, I mean, they've done extremely well, you know? So,
that's good to hear.
Yeah.
That's good to hear. So 2021, are you ready?
I'm stoked.
Yeah, me too.
I'll tell you. But Lily, kind of walk us through a little bit more about who you are.
Yeah.
Right? Every single interview that I do, I like to basically go from not A to Z, but just a summary of who the person is. Of course, educate the audience about what it is that you do, right? You're in the real estate world.
Yeah.
And then kind of walk us through how you started and what got you involved.
Okay, yeah. I was excited when Nate moved to Houston because Houston is my hometown, and I was a news anchor for 21 years. It took me around the country. It was Amarillo, Birmingham, Seattle for 12 years, and I finally came back to Houston in 2012. And I decided to come back to Houston because my dad was sick at the time, and he had Parkinson's. So dropped everything, came home, and had a dream job at a local TV station here, and was there for 7 years. That is all I ever knew up to that point, was being a news anchor, being a journalist, being a voice for the underserved, underprivileged Asian Americans. And then one day, out of the blue in 2017, new management came in, clean house. I was a casualty.
Wow.
And not only was it a shock, because I had no idea it was coming.
Yeah.
You kind of know in the back of your head when you get into this industry that can happen. But it happened, and I was devastated. I cried for a long time. It was just the shock of it was, wow, you're finally in your hometown. I can't move anywhere else to another part of the country to take an anchor job because my parents are here.
That's true.
So I had to fucking figure it out.
Yeah.
And so through the hardest times and through the hardest adversity was my biggest growth. Yeah, and I decided, you know what? I've bought homes and sold homes. I know how much I paid that realtor of mine.
Oh, yeah.
I said, shit.
Right.
I always wanted to do that, so I did. And I think that the secret with me going into that was I already had a sphere. I already had a following. I had people who already trusted me because this is my hometown. I knew a lot of people. But it was also my mindset. Because if you go into something, no matter what it is, whatever career it is, and you think to yourself, there is no chance for failure.
Yeah.
You have to fucking crush this. Then you will. Wow. And so it's been 4 years, and now I'm a real estate agent here in Houston with a potty mouth. I'm sorry.
No.
And it's been really a wonderful, the most blessed thing that has ever happened to me, because I always said I had such a big setback. It was so hard for me to get over the fact that my whole dream life of being a journalist was over. I had to figure it out. Scene 2, right?
Yeah.
And so I knew I wanted my comeback to be stronger than my setback. And here I am.
That's deep. We're going to quote that too. Yeah. And that's insane because it happened just like that.
It really did.
You know, like you didn't have any plan for it happening. It just happened.
Yeah, it happened. And one day, I mean, I really was blindsided. I was talking to my co-anchor, Ron, and we were just laughing about something, and they called me up to the office upstairs. I was like, oh, crap. That doesn't happen ever. So I knew something was up. And they just point blank said, we're going to let you go at the end of your contract. We'll give you a glowing review, but we are changing direction of every single newscast. So my co-anchor went to the weekend mornings. I was let go at the end of my contract. And yeah, I had to figure it out. And so I reinvented myself, picked myself back up. You can't feel sorry for yourself.
Right.
You fucking figure it out. That's it.
It's true.
There's no chance for failure. I support myself. I support my parents. I had to do what I had to do. And I hustled 100-hour weeks. I would cry at the end of my first few months in real estate because I was so tired, exhausted.
Yeah. Holy. You know,
it's a grind.
I'm sure you get this a lot, your voice, right? You have one stellar voice.
Thank you.
Do you think that, I mean, you're, of course, born with your voice, but how has that served you in making progress, whether that's within the news world or just within real estate? Because I mean, you're aware you got a great voice.
A voice like the quality of my voice, or metaphorically, like the voice. What are you talking about?
I'd say the quality.
My voice. Have you heard me cackle when I laugh?
Come on.
It's so annoying. No, thank you for saying that.
Yeah, of course.
I find myself annoying when I hear myself and repeat. I mean, and rewind.
Yeah, I beg to differ on that.
Thank you. Thank you.
Yeah.
So how do you think it's propelled me? You know, what's really interesting is that I was just at a restaurant 2 nights ago, Savoir, with my girlfriend Christine, and everybody has a mask on, and we don't see. I didn't know it was my friend. He was like, I recognize that voice.
Right.
When you walk in, I recognize your voice. I didn't have to see you.
Yeah.
I was like, oh, thanks. Is that annoying?
No.
No, I appreciate it. I don't know.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Yeah, and because I get that a lot too. I do. Like, it's always about the voice, and I feel like
it's true with Nate because I'll be on my Insta stories and sometimes it'll just scroll and then it goes to people's, Insta stories. I'm like, that's Nate's voice. I'm like, listen, what's Nate's up to? Oh, he's in Frisco. Oh my God, he's in Nashville. Right. Oh, he's in Miami. He's all over the place.
I mean, maybe Antarctica next. We'll see.
But they let us in because I'll go.
Oh gosh, for real. I can't wait till the borders open up. Goodness gracious.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think it's powerful though, because I feel like some people, they just don't have, everybody has a voice, but in terms of a voice that's just recognizable and one's that's booming, I think that's very, it distinguishes you to who you are, but then you can just progress in not just real estate and not just within the news, but it serves as a huge and greater purpose overall, I feel.
Thank you.
You know?
I think that if you have conviction in your beliefs and your whatever it is that you're saying, whatever message you have, it will be reflected in the voice and intonation and inflection.
Yes.
So if you have strong beliefs, it'll just come out the way. I mean, I think that I sound very boisterous.
Yeah, absolutely.
But it's because what I say, I believe, truly believe. Yeah. So to wrap up what I was saying with just changing into real estate, it was such a scary time. I mean, I went from, I think any job is like this. If you go from having a paycheck every 2 weeks,
oh my goodness, yeah.
right, to 100% commission job,
right,
and in real estate, you don't expect to have a salary, or no, not salary. You don't expect to have a paycheck for 6 to 9 months. I just didn't know.
It's a big risk.
Yeah, it is a big risk, and it was the richest reward, the biggest risk, the richest reward, and I crushed it my first year. I sold 8 million in real estate.
Really? Holy smokes.
Yeah.
8 million in your first year? Is that common? So
What made
that common for you your first year?
I just knew that I manifested it. I mean, okay, so I could get woo-woo. Okay, sorry. I can get very woo-woo.
Hey, we're all flow, yeah.
Yeah, when I truly believe in something, I pray about it. Not just pray, but I meditate. And I set those intentions out there into the universe. But then I follow up with, I'm knocking on doors. I am doing everything that was not inside the box, right?
Yeah.
With builders, with clients, I would do things differently. I started shooting videos the way I knew how to do them on TV because I already had a TV presence. And so now everybody's doing them. Not that I invented it, but It's more common now. And so what I did was that first year in real estate, I was like, this is not good enough. I'm not just going to do real estate. I have TV connections. So I went to a different station in Houston, which was KPRC Channel 2.
Okay. Yeah.
And I said, hey, Jerry Martin's a general manager. And I said, I'm going to give you something. I produced this whole segment, shot the whole thing. I didn't have to sell him the vision because I already shot the whole thing and I delivered it to him. Watch this.
Yeah.
This is what I'm going to do for you every Saturday morning, Sunday morning. And so I did open houses and I went to every single open house that I was going to shoot beforehand. I would do a HGTV video in each of the homes showcasing the homes. So every Saturday and Sunday, you already have the videos and you watch it. And I had realtors pay for the time slots. So it was a money. They were making money from it. I was getting leads off of it. So that's what I'm talking about, thinking outside the box.
Yeah.
And so I gave a lot of my clients TV airtime that no other realtor could have done. Right?
Yeah, that's powerful. Yeah.
And so that's what I did. And so it was like a full-time job that first year. And I was doing real estate, learning contracts and legalese. And it was a lot. Like I said, like every week I would cry. I was so tired. I would just come home every Sunday because 7 days a week. You were working. I was just there every Sunday. I'm like, I'm so exhausted. I'm just going to give me an hour to cry and let me just be. I just needed to let it all out. Yeah, but that was me for like the whole first year.
Yeah, and
it was a hustle.
You utilized what it is that you've already kind of built up. I think that's cool with you doing those videos. I mean, you crush the videos. Seeing each video that you do, you have like your own little swagger, your own style to it.
Thanks.
And I think that's what attracts not just potential, clients, but other realtors to follow you in your journey, right? Personally, myself, I've shown your pages to probably tons of realtors, and they've followed you, and they're like, "Holy smokes, I love what Lily does."
Oh,
like I want to start doing that. I'm like, dude, just follow her. She's a great example.
Call me, I'll help you. So it was so interesting because the first year I was in real estate and I did that and I was on TV.
Yeah.
I had other friends who were news anchors leaving the industry because a lot of people have a shelf life. They're like, I'm done with this shit. And Detroit, San Diego, Dallas, Austin. I had friends or even strangers call me and say, Lily, I Googled realtor, anchor turned real. You came up and your videos came up. How did you do that? I'm like, you know what? I will help you. Don't reinvent the wheel. Here's the script of how I do it. Here's what you need to do. Sell this to a news station. Like if you're already a news anchor on a TV station, you know your contacts. And so I said, utilize that. And I would just help them. I don't care that I did it. They're not a threat to me. There's enough for everybody. I always think that. Let me help you.
Yeah.
And I just believe in the karma of that.
That's huge. Because, people, they're like, oh, well, why should I help my competition?
They're not competition. I don't feel like I have competition.
Yeah.
Here's the thing. Whoever you are, you have your own unique skill sets. Whatever that is, you can parlay that into a new career. You have unique skill sets known to you, right?
Yeah.
Use that. And I think a lot of what we do is all relationship based, right?
Absolutely.
I think it's 100%, not just a lot. If you are authentic, you truly are an authentic person, sincere, down to earth, that sells itself. That right there is almost everything.
Yeah. Because people can see when you're kind of artificial.
Don't sell me anything.
Faking it. Yeah.
Yeah. And if you're in a sales position like I am and you're trying to sell me something, being in sales, I don't even like that. Stop. Like if you're cold calling me, stop cold calling people. No one fucking wants that.
Right.
I hang up on people.
Yeah. Like show the value first. Give me something first before I want to just get on a call and hear about some product or service.
No, I don't
like if
want
you
that.
got testimonials, great.
Yeah.
Right? Let your portfolio showcase itself. That's the main thing. How has social media for Lily been like a game changer within your world of real estate?
I will say this. In this day and age, if you don't have a social media presence, you're 5 years behind. Because if someone says, hey, do you know this person? Do you know so-and-so? What do you think they're going to do? They're going to Google you or find you on social media. And what you look like on your social media pages is your reputation. And so clean it up, make it look good. This guy will help.
Appreciate it.
Yeah, this guy will help you.
Thank you. Yeah, you're right. Your social media presence is everything.
Yeah.
For your brand, if you have a voice, whether you're speaking about motivational tips, real estate, plumbing, right? Construction.
Anything.
If you're a cook, holy smokes.
Anything.
Literally. Like it doesn't matter what it is. You have value to bring and you can showcase that. Let people hear your voice.
Yes.
Establish that trust because that builds rapport. I can't tell you how many calls that I've been on, and I'm sure you've been on, where people are like, Lily, Nate, I feel like I've known you for years. Just because we're talking and because I've seen your videos, that's a huge game changer completely. And I feel as if like people, they want that, especially in the real estate industry.
Yeah.
Because it's saturated. There's
It's
tons
saturated.
of realtors
It's
that are out there.
oversaturated.
And I sometimes feel as if they try to reinvent the wheel to try to find like the next big thing, but it's already in front of you. You know, like you just have to utilize.
I mean, I do believe, and I've said this so many times, that social media is a necessary evil. And I say evil because we are in the game of continuing to do this all the time, all day long, because we need a dopamine hit. Oh my God, how many likes did I get? Oh my God, it feels like it. Oh my God, I didn't get enough hits.
Yeah.
Right?
It's true.
That is what social media has done to us. But it's a necessary evil because we have to have it. There's no way around it. If you don't have social media, how do you even have a business? Every single person, every single business, everything, no matter how visual or non-visual your industry is, you need a social media page. That's Instagram. I mean, SEO, we talked about that.
Yeah.
I feel like I need that too. What is it? Google something.
Google Maps?
Yeah, whatever, all that.
Right. It's like whenever somebody searches realtor near me, and then people that show up in the Google Maps, people are always going to go with this first couple to few.
I don't want people to know where I live, though. Is that what they're going to do?
Put a business address. That's the only thing.
Okay, there's that.
Yeah.
Okay.
So I mean, we don't need stalkers at your house or
No,
anything like
we do
that,
not need stalkers. We will not put up with them. But that's a great place too to up your presence.
It is. And social media is your business card, literally.
Who carries business cards anymore? I was just saying that yesterday to somebody.
Really?
Yeah, they gave me a business card and I was like, I don't have any to return.
Yeah.
Sorry.
Literally. People ask that all the time. Like, Nate, what's
Just
your
find me on
business
social
card?
media.
Nate the Great. Lily Jang, you know? Plain and simple. Who has been...
Nate the Great. Isn't that the greatest? I don't remember how I met you.
Social media.
I know that, but like I don't remember how I met you. But we clicked right away.
Yeah, I think I DM'd you, and then I forget the exact moment when we met.
But it's been years, right?
Yeah, we did calls, and then I think we came to Houston, and then eventually you're like, hey, just... That's right. Yeah, we came over to an open house that you had.
Oh, yeah.
I forget the address.
Spring Branch. In Spring Branch.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yeah, I remember
I'm
that.
like, you're so nice. Let's be friends.
Right? Maybe it was the voices. I don't know. Let me ask you this, Lily. Who has been, and it can be more than one, who's been a huge inspiration or what people would call a mentor in your life?
God, I hate when people ask me that.
Really?
Because I ask people that all the time. Who was your inspiration? Okay. Like, where did you get this inspo and this drive? What is your driving force? And I always ask people that. Okay, so when I first started real estate, and I try to be somebody that I didn't have. Okay. I try to be somebody for others. So my first year in real estate, I didn't have a mentor. I just flew like the wind. And I made so many mistakes.
That's huge.
I made so many costly financial mistakes and costly relationship mistakes with my clients, right?
Okay.
I just fucked shit up. But in hindsight, I feel like if I could have done it differently, I would have started with Keller Williams Memorial, because they give you the tools as a new agent to do everything you need to do. I just stumbled and I fell and I faltered, and the only thing that I feel like pulled me through that first 6 months was my conscience, my integrity, because I had deals where I said, oh God, I just really messed this up. Yeah. Gosh. My sellers of this house in Spring, they were going to take their Ring doorbell, their thermostat, their speakers, but all those are fixtures. And so it goes to the new owner, right? I didn't exclude them on accident. And so closing day, I was like, you guys are taking those with you? You can't take those with you. Right. But it was my lack of communication that caused that. So speakers, a Nest, and then the Ring doorbell, all of that, I priced it out, and it was $1,200. It was like a commission check. I was like, here you go, to the new owners.
Yeah.
And the new owners were, he was a war vet, American war vet. I didn't know that at the time, but I was like, I got to do the right thing. I need to write him a check, because he thought it was going to be included.
Yeah.
The advice I got from this mentor of mine was like, you didn't do anything wrong. You know, you don't have to pay $1,200. I said, that's not right. I messed up here, and I need to do the right thing. At the end of the day, it's your reputation. It's your integrity. It's what you do when people aren't looking. when I delivered him a check, he came out in his uniform, and I was like, oh my God, I started crying. And I was like, I'm so sorry, I messed it up. Here's $1,200, and thank you. And he said, no, thank you, because you did the right thing. It's just doing the right thing. And I think that kind of stuff right there is the only reason why I got through the first year. I just listened to my intuition. And then when I left this other place I was at, and then I went to Keller Williams, I had a mentor.
Okay.
Yeah, but I didn't have one for the first 6 months. And thank God for who I am and how I do things.
Right.
My inspiration... I love listening to, okay, now, of course, I'm blanking. I'd have to look it up.
You're good, yeah.
I love listening to self-help because I love when people have been hit rock bottom.
Right.
Because that is your best teacher. And you see the light.
You do.
You do see the light when you hit rock bottom. And during that time in 2017, when I was ripped of my dream job, I say that so dramatically, it was ripped away from me. It was stolen. No, I'm kidding. I feel like that was like the beginning of my spiritual growth. I became a lot more self-aware. I became a lot more in tune with other people.
Yeah.
And my professional growth, just skyrocketed. But that was the worst thing at that point that ever happened to me, because I never thought. I worked so hard my whole life, 21 years in television news, and all of a sudden I'm told I'm not good enough anymore.
Right. That's huge.
It's so personal, even though it wasn't personal, you know?
Yeah. Man. How big is meditation for Lily?
Can you see that little corner right there?
Mm-hmm.
So I have a Buddha statue. I have that ding, I believe in energy.
Yeah.
I believe in crystals, the energy and the power of crystals. I meditate every single day. And I go to Bali. I can't really meditate the way I did in Bali. It was like 20 minutes of just sitting there and you just see purple.
Really?
You see purple.
Holy smokes.
It's very woo-woo, but here in Houston, when I have so many things going on in the back of my mind, I know my phone's going off. Maybe 3 or 4 minutes. I sit with a candle with my crystals in front of me, and I'm just accepting the energy of the universe. And I start my day like that every day. I try to, because if you are grateful and you have that grateful mindset every day, I guarantee you that will change the rest of the course of your day. I used to just wake up and think about 5 things I'm grateful for. I'm grateful for my health. I'm grateful for a roof over my head. I'm grateful that I had parents who are so loving. I'm grateful for so many things, right?
Yeah.
But then I just meditate. Just close your eyes and focus on the good. Just close your eyes and turn off your phone. Just be still and be in silence and just sit there. If it's 30 seconds, if it's a minute, just start like that. And then sometimes just 3 minutes a day.
3 minutes a day, yeah. Yeah, it doesn't have to be 30 minutes to
No,
start,
I don't think I have the capacity for that stillness.
Yeah.
I'm not a master. Do
Right.
you meditate?
From time to time.
Do you?
Yeah, not every day. I got to get into it more.
Yeah.
I do pray every single day, though, because I
Yeah.
know the importance of that.
Yes.
You know? I used to have this thing, it's called Muse, and it's a meditation headband. You literally it straps right behind your ears, and it measures your brain waves.
What?
Yeah, there's an app for it too. I think it's like $200 or $300 for the headband, but it's cool because it literally measures the exact meditation. It doesn't say your thoughts or anything, but
Right.
it just measures the waves. And it's so cool because then it plays. You got to wear headphones for it, and then it plays that Muse. Just go.
I love it.
It's really cool. I guess you can say it's like a biohacking device. It's really nice to just kind of get into that state, but I used to do it a lot. I do need to get into it more.
I'm telling you, we all vibe higher. It's all about vibrational energy, and we all have, everybody has a certain vibrational energy.
Yes.
And when you're around people who are so positive and who vibe high, you hear that, right? Vibe high.
Right.
You naturally vibe with them.
You do.
I don't want to hang around negative people. They just kill your soul.
Yeah.
Kill my spirit. I can't do it. I can't do it. And I've learned to have boundaries where I don't have that and accept that anymore. It's just self-respect, right? That's it.
Yeah. You might have a friend, I'll use this as an example for myself. I have friends that I went to high school with, don't get me wrong, I cut like 99% of them off. But I got like 2 friends that I stay in touch with.
Why did you cut 99% off?
Frequency.
There
They didn't
you
get it.
go.
Literally. They didn't get it. They wondered why I read the certain books that I read.
I see.
I mean, I was 14, 15, literally reading books about success, and where I'm from in Pennsylvania, it's like, what? Read a book about college, read something about going to school. And I'm like, nah, I don't want to commit. I don't want to do anything like that.
But they judged you for it?
Yeah.
Okay, yeah.
Even teachers.
Even teachers? Oh,
Yeah.
That's terrible.
They didn't get it. I mean, I would watch motivational videos and they're just like, hey, what are you doing? Do work. I'm like, this is my work. I'm recording videos,
You're ahead of your time. You haven't, okay, so I call people like you older souls. You're an older soul.
I appreciate it.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, literally.
You got it at such an early age. And I was never an old soul. I think I'm a medium soul. I'm not a baby soul, but I was never an old soul. Mm-hmm.
I wonder how somebody establishes being an old soul.
I think, okay, here's an example. My being let go at the TV station was an awakening.
Okay.
So sometimes you're never awakened and you sleepwalk through life. Maybe you're never awakened, but that was my awakening. That was my reckoning. That was the beginning of me just being a lot more intentional with how I live my life. It was my awakening in this life of mine.
Yeah.
I believe in many lives, so.
Likewise. And I feel as if you have to have that awakening. Listen, if you want to do great...
But not everybody has it. Not everybody has it in this life.
True.
I don't know what makes some people not have it or some people do. I don't know I don't know the answers to that, but not everybody has it. I know a lot of, and it's culture. A lot of it's culture. I know people in the Asian culture who are elderly and they have zero self-awareness. Not just Asian culture. I'm just saying, the Asian culture is very stoic.
Yeah.
And you don't talk about your feelings as much, and you don't talk about growth, or you don't see a therapist. It's just a different culture. Mm-hmm. I
feel as if people that take a lot of risks, they're more prone to have those awakenings.
But are you awakened and then you take a risk? Do you take risks because you're awakened?
Yeah, that's true.
Because a baby, I would say this: anything outside of love is fear, right?
Yeah.
People generally live in fear. It's fearful to take risks.
Yeah.
It's scary because the unknown is like, what if I fail? And not everybody has the ambition and the confidence to say, I won't fail.
But then there's that question, how do these people have such ambition and a desire to do great things?
It's a soul you're born with.
Really?
I do. I feel that way. It's a soul that you're born with. Not everybody is born ambitious.
That's true.
Not everybody's born with a certain personality types that drive them to be an Elon Musk.
That's exactly. I was just thinking about him. That's
right.
Funny. Yeah.
Isn't that crazy? He lives like 3 hours from here.
Yeah, literally.
Everybody's fleeing California and moving to Texas.
Texas, yeah.
Elon Musk. Okay, what was I here? Okay, he's at this hotel all the time that my friend stays at. Hotel something Perry something, and he's just chilling in Austin. The world's richest man. The world's richest man now. Yeah. I mean, surpassed Bill Gates. He surpassed somebody else too. He surpassed
Bezos.
Yeah, Bezos. Yeah. It was Bezos.
That's pretty powerful to pass Bezos.
How do you surpass Bezos?
I mean, the king of Amazon.
The king. Yeah.
And Elon with his story, holy smokes. If you haven't read his biography,
I haven't.
Check it out.
Give me a nugget about his biography.
A nugget? Just the fact that he comes from South Africa.
Okay. I love South Africa.
The fact that he comes from South Africa and all the odds were against him.
How were the odds against him?
I mean, just the way he grew up.
Okay. Did he grow up in poverty?
Yeah.
But South Africa isn't poverty though. Like Cape Town's nice, but I don't know his story. I'll read it.
Yeah, definitely.
I'll listen to it.
I mean, I got the book at home. I'll give it to you.
Yeah,
literally. But just his story alone is incredible. And I mean, he wasn't always the most confident individual. Mm-hmm. He was timid, and I find that's a common pattern with people like him, Gates, Jobs, all the extremely well-known I mean, a lot of them are involved in tech,
Mm-hmm.
right? And it's like they have that geekiness, that nerdiness,
The
to
brilliance.
them. Yeah. And to what you're saying, you don't have to be the most outgoing.
No, I don't think that's a quality of somebody who's going to be a gajillionaire.
Yes.
Right? I don't think it is.
But they honed in on what they were good at, and that was
their gift to the world. Their brilliance was a gift. Whatever their gift was their knowledge. They honed in on it, they fed it, and they gave it to the world. But I do feel like they had a calling. People are born into this world with a calling.
I agree. Yeah.
And that was their calling. It was like they are little angels and walking the earth.
Yeah.
Like, I think that another one is like Justin Bieber. Whether you like his music or I don't really like his music.
Perfect example.
Right? Because he came from a broken home, right? Yeah. His mom she was very public and had a public story, wrote a book about being raped, being a single mom, overcoming the odds, and raised this son who is, you can love him or hate him, but the guy's brilliant.
Absolutely brilliant.
It's like Kanye West. I don't like him, but he's brilliant.
Right.
You can say the same thing about our leaders. You can say whatever. Any and all. Everybody has a story, and there's a reason for their calling. Mm. And they were born with that, I think.
Yeah. And you can't ignore the talent.
You can't ignore the talent. They're so beyond talented. I mean, but don't you agree with me with Justin Bieber?
I do. Oh, 100%.
I only know his story, I think I saw it on Oprah many years ago, but he sticks out to me.
He does. Mm-hmm. He has a heck of a story. I mean, that's somebody he's one of my favorite artists. And then, I mean, just with Justin Bieber, with him emerging into who he is today, he's the most spiritual. And, I mean, he talks about God all the time. Mm-hmm. And it's so great because I feel as if this generation needs that more than anything. I feel as if it's 2021, we're in the 2020s. I feel like now more than ever, people are really getting involved with spirituality. People are meditating more. I
don't think that's true as a country. I think we're more broken than ever. And I think this country has lost its soul. And we need to do a lot of soul searching as a country. Mm. That's what I feel. I don't think that people are very spiritual anymore.
You don't think?
Not if you're looking at the world in the perspective of the first few days of 2021.
Yeah. Yeah, that's hard to overlook.
Yeah.
For sure. Just with what happened, and that's insane. It's a shame. With all the years that has been built, and I mean, not to talk too much politics or anything, but
I can talk about politics all day, but we will not get into that. Right. Yeah, but it's just what we're talking about. We're talking Bieber and spirituality. I hope that's true. I hope that's true that more people are finding spirituality.
Yeah, I think it is.
No matter what it means, I feel like there's many paths to the same place.
Right.
Whether you're Buddhist like I am, whether you're Christian, Catholic, whatever you are, Muslim, all different religions, different paths, same place.
Absolutely. I agree on that totally. As long as you have that in mind, and I feel faith is extremely crucial with all walks of life and with everything that you do, especially being an entrepreneur. Because sometimes, I mean, that's all you got. At the end of the day, you just have yourself and faith and the man above, And
the man above.
Literally.
Or the woman above.
Yeah. Literally.
But it's true, faith.
That's so huge.
And you know what? I'm thinking about, it's hard to have faith anymore. It is hard. It is hard because it's just hard for a lot of reasons because so many adults have lost it. How do they teach their kids that?
It's tough. And then
I just see it too much.
If their kids don't get taught that, where do they learn from?
That's right.
And who do they go to?
Right.
That's the main thing. And I guess for me personally, I realized that very young. And
you grew up with that in your household?
Like the
faith?
A little bit.
Okay.
I mean, we went to church a decent amount, but I wasn't involved in it and immersed by it 24/7.
What got you into it?
Ever since I got into business, because I've went through those tough times, and I'm like, gosh, who do I rely on? Who do I go to?
But it sounds like you were always curious as a human being. You've always had a natural propensity for critical thinking. Even when you said 14 years old, you're reading books that adults didn't even understand you.
Right.
So you always had that inclination.
I've always been curious.
Mm-hmm.
And that's something I've realized too is my curiosity. And I feel as if to be curious, it's not necessarily like a negative thing.
No, it's never a negative thing.
I feel as if sometimes people are like, why do you mean so curious? Like, this is my info. Right?
Okay, you know
Depending
what?
on the... Go ahead.
Sorry to interrupt. Go ahead.
Yeah, depending on the sense of the curiosity, I guess. Like if somebody's being curious or... I think being curious and being nosy is a completely different thing.
Two different things.
Right? Because if you're being nosy, you're trying to pry into people's info. But if you're curious, you're asking about, hey, tell me about this particular subject.
Yeah, because you want to learn and understand and discover and experience.
Yeah.
Yeah. I think that you always had that. And people who aren't like that are probably threatened by you.
You think so?
Well, probably. They probably don't understand where you're coming from because they don't understand it.
Yeah, that's true.
But people who are naturally curious and have this hunger that you do will always be successful. It's like you have that little mini Elon Musk about you. You do.
Yeah. Yeah, I just, I always want to, every single day I wake up, I'm like, man, what can I do better?
Mm-hmm.
Right? And I'm sure you do too. You wake up, you're probably thinking, man, what can I do better for myself personally, but most importantly, my clients.
Yeah.
How can I improve their lives?
I wake up and ask myself what I'm having for breakfast. And I was starving. No. But yeah, you're right. Every day I think, okay, what do I need to do about this listing? What do I need to do about that? Something's got to change. And I over obsess, and I know that. I mean, that's a negative aspect of my type A personality, is that sometimes I over obsess about it, and it just over consumes me when it shouldn't.
Yeah.
But do you feel that way too?
Sometimes.
Yeah.
Yeah, sometimes.
I can overthink.
I overthink a lot. I don't want to say it's not the fact that I don't like going out. It's the fact that I don't enjoy it. Like, I don't enjoy going to like just, if a buddy invites, hey, Nate, let's go get drinks at 9:00 or something.
Do you drink?
Not really.
Okay.
I mean, casually, if it's a business setting. Mm-hmm. But I don't enjoy it. The thing that I do enjoy is if we're talking about bettering each other, whether it's in a business sense or in just a personal sense. Like if somebody's going through it, I love listening to what they're going through and helping them.
Yeah. And you don't have to love going out and having drinks at 9 because it's not feeding your growth.
Exactly.
And you have a healthy boundary about it, which is great because he came into my head. This is my house, by the way. And you
beautiful home, I'll tell you.
Thanks. And so I offered him a drink and he's like, nah. I was like, oh yeah, Nate doesn't drink.
I mean, hey, I do got a water.
I feed you water. But I love that you know what you want and you don't succumb to what others think they need from you. Because in this society, not drinking is like, people just drink because it's social or feel like they need to, even if they don't want to. So the fact that you're able to say, no, I'm good, is cool. Really cool.
That's hard for people to do.
It's harder for people who drink to accept you who doesn't drink.
Wow, that's a great perspective.
Because people who drink want a drinking buddy. So when you don't drink, it makes them feel uncomfortable about their decision. People's decisions are never a reflection of you. It's them.
Yeah.
They take nothing personally. It's like the 4 Agreements.
Oh.
The best book ever.
Gosh, who's the author, Doc? Miguel
Ruiz.
Ruiz, yeah. That's a great book.
Be impeccable with your word.
Yes.
Never take anything personally. What are the other two?
Right.
The other
Gosh,
two.
I drew blanks on that.
I'm going to find it. We'll keep talking.
I gotta reread that. It's probably been like a couple of years since I read that, but it's a great book. Yeah.
Okay, I'm going to find it.
Yeah, you're good.
What the hell are the 4 agreements here? Okay, so agreement number 1, be impeccable with your word. Agreement number 2, don't take anything personally because nothing is about you. People's decisions are a reflection of you, never. Right? Number 3, don't make assumptions. Number 4, always do your best. And your best can change every single second of every day.
It's true.
I think that if we just live by that, boy, it would be so simple.
Yeah.
It shouldn't be that hard.
Right.
Everything else is complicated.
It doesn't have to be an equation, right?
It doesn't have to be the quadratic equation or the Pythagorean theorem.
Seriously.
For real.
I failed geometry.
you failed 7th grade geometry.
I swear, I'm not even kidding. I mean, I think I took geometry and like, for me, it was like ninth grade. So it was even more of a blow because I'm like, gosh, I'm in ninth grade and I failed it.
Aww.
You know? But then the next year I had to retake it and I passed and I'm like, heck yeah. But anyways, Lily, I want to be respectful of your time.
This is fun. This is fun that you're recording a podcast. Like, we're totally having fun.
Right? I mean, there was a minute I'm like, holy smokes, is this still recording? Like, it doesn't
How long has it
seem like
been?
it. Almost 42
minutes.
minutes. Yeah. Wow.
But see, if you meet Nate in person, Nate is this easy to talk to. It's like
Sweet. Yeah.
we're just having a conversation. I forgot we're really doing this.
Right. Yeah. That's the beauty of it.
Mm-hmm.
So Lily, before we, call it here, and I'm sure we'll do a part 2 eventually, sometime. Where can everybody find you on social media, online, to check you out, to follow you? And I'll attach everything in the description below as well for them to.
I've said this to you many times, like Facebook algorithms. I don't use Facebook as very much ever.
Yeah, it's tough.
So I'm on Facebook with a business page. I'm on Facebook personally as well. The Lily Jang on Instagram. That sounds conceited as hell. But when I signed up for Instagram like 10 years ago, somebody was Lily Jang. I was like, I don't know, let me just do this to save it. And I didn't know you can change it.
Yeah.
I can't change the Lily Jang. Now I just sound conceited. So the Lily Jang, and then I'm on Twitter, but Twitter I don't use very much. You can just find me very easily. I'm very accessible.
Oh, yes. She's got that blue check, the verification and everything.
I've been verified.
But Lily, again, I appreciate you. Thank you so much for your time.
Thank you for having me.
Everything, again, that you've done up to this point, it's incredible.
Thank
literally.
you.
And
Thank you for saying that.
I think there is some humility somebody has to have in order to, accept where they are at this point.
Mm-hmm.
And most importantly, your willingness to help other people.
Mm-hmm.
You have such a big heart, and that goes a huge, huge long ways. Seriously. So I just want to let you know I appreciate it.
Thank you so much.
Thank you, Lily.
Till next time.